Some cars were so dangerous, so unfairly powerful, that racing bodies didn't just regulate them, they erased them. These aren't the headline-grabbing Daytonas or Boss 429s. No, this is the dark underbelly of muscle car history. We're talking about ghost cars, machines that barely made it to the track before they were outlawed, silenced, or buried in backlot storage yards. From twisted prototype builds to factory freaks that never saw the light of day again, these 10 cars were deemed too fast, too wild, or too strange to compete. And yet, they existed. So, buckle up. We're diving into 10 obscure American muscle cars that got banned from racing, not because they broke rules, but because they rewrote them. 1. 1963 Chevrolet Corvair Lakewood SS. The Corvairs got a reputation, but this one, it's practically a myth. The Lakewood SS was a station wagon turned sideways handling street assassin. With rear-mounted, turbocharged, flat 6-power and lightweight panels, Chevy reportedly built a few under the table to gauge SCCA viability. Problem? The car's handling was infamous. On tight tracks, it pivoted like a hovercraft on ice. Drivers loved it, until one flipped during a time trial. The SCCA didn't wait. They immediately banned all wagon body platforms from circuit events, snuffing out the Lakewood SS before it could go full beast mode. 2. 1969 Pontiac Grand Prix Special. This isn't the Grand Prix you're thinking of. This was a skunkworks project, an early attempt to infiltrate Trans Am racing with something bigger, heavier, and meaner. It had a prototype 455HO engine, stripped body panels, and bizarre weight distribution. It was fast, too fast for its size. It started blowing past Camaros and Mustangs during private testing. When rival teams got wind, Pontiac was told in no uncertain terms, "You're not bringing that into Trans Am." Before a single sanctioned race, the rulebook got an update banning large displacement full-size coupes. 3. 1970 Ford Torino King Cobra. The King Cobra wasn't just a name, it had an aerodynamic snout, hidden headlights, and a plan: kill the Charger Daytona at its own game. Underneath, a NASCAR-ready 429 Boss engine and experimental front-end balance tech. But it came too late. NASCAR had just banned aero cars from running engines over 305 cubic inches. Overnight, the King Cobra became obsolete. Ford shelved the program, and the few that escaped are now garage royalty. Muscle monsters never given a chance to race. 4. 1967 Plymouth GTX Stage 2. Built for NHRA Superstock, the GTX Stage 2 packed a hand-tuned 426 Hemi and short-run headers, reportedly delivering over 550 horsepower straight from the crate. It ran sub-11 seconds right off the trailer, and that scared people. Within months of debuting, NHRA moved to restrict what modifications could be made at the factory level. The Stage 2 was suddenly illegal for its class. Racers were told, either detune or don't show up. Most chose to hide them instead, creating an underground drag racing legend. 5. 1968 AMC AMX RT. AMC never got its flowers in muscle car history, but this car, it almost changed that. The AMX RT was a one-off built for SCCA testing with a custom 401 cubic inch engine, aluminum hood, and ultra-low weight. It was a Trans Am killer. The SCCA wasn't amused. AMC was accused of violating homologation requirements, and the car was barred from entering national races. Even the company backed off fast. Just like that, the AMX RT vanished. No records, no press, just whispers in old garages. 6. 1966 Buick Wildcat GS. This was the muscle car for gangsters. Big, brutal, and practically armored. The Wildcat GS had a 425 nailhead V8 with torque that could bend axles. Buick attempted to enter it in early NHRA stock classes until it consistently destroyed lighter competition. Its raw weight gave it strange grip advantages off the line, creating a bizarre loophole. NHRA closed that door quick, banning certain weight-to-power ratios and effectively eliminating the Wildcat GS from all competitive racing. 7. 1969 Dodge Coronet A12. The A12 package was all about minimalism and violence. 446-pack engine, lift-off fiberglass hood, and zero frills. But what made it wild was its sleeper lineage. One prototype, uncovered years later, ran quarter miles in the tens thanks to experimental gearing and a stripped chassis. That prototype never got approval. NHRA caught wind and banned factory lightweights with non-standard welds, ending the A12's upgrade path. 8. 1971 Mercury Cyclone CJ. Mercury wanted a Goliath Slayer, and the Cyclone CJ nearly was. Powered by a 429 Cobra jet and tested on Ford's proving grounds, this monster set records against GM's finest in private competitions, but Ford canceled the racing program before it went public. Why? Insiders claim execs feared backlash from regulators watching the rise in fatal racing incidents. The Cyclone CJ was quietly canceled, prototypes crushed. It was a ghost, rumored, feared, never confirmed. 9. 1970 Oldsmobile 442 W30. This wasn't your granddad's Olds. The W30 Night Racer was a private build blessed by engineers at Lansing Assembly. It had blueprinting, weight shaving, and stealth tuning beyond spec. A few even had dealer-installed nitrous. Racers entered them into regional circuits, until one got caught with an illegal combo of factory parts. The NHRA changed the parts-matching rules, effectively banning custom-tuned W30s from entering as stock. The Night Racer faded into myth, known only by those who lined up against it. 10. 1964 Dodge Polara Superstock. In the early 60s, Dodge shipped a small number of Polaras to desert states with special rear ends, oversized carb setups, and off-road drag packages. They were sand drag legends, cranking ungodly torque across dusty straights. Problem? Too many non-factory hands were involved. Sanctioning bodies questioned their authenticity and soon outlawed them from formal drag races. Polara SS builds faded into obscurity, found today only in half-sunken sheds across Arizona. These weren't just muscle cars, they were weapons, built to test the limits of what racing bodies would tolerate. And when they crossed those lines, they were erased, not because they were illegal, but because they were too good. They bent physics, terrified competition, and rewrote rulebooks. Their legacies live on not through trophies, but rumors, engine blocks, and the occasional barn find that still makes hearts race. These banned beasts remind us, the best stories in muscle car history are the ones they tried to forget. If you loved this dive into the underground, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment with your favorite forgotten monster.